Hello there. How you doing? It's Daisy Duke weather. I'm trying to see the little cheeks hanging out the back of that. And some blue or white Jones. You know what I'm saying? The Daisy Dukes where they white and then it's like that dark flesh. It could be light skin. It don't always have to be dark. But you know what I'm saying? Darker than the you know what I'm saying, the white Daisy Dukes, and it cuts off like where the booty come out. Oh my Lord. But anyway, this is AlexWill64, obviously. Catch me on Instagram, AlexWill64 and Ether Realist. All that is in the description section of this video. And when you come to my page, no profile pic, no post, no service. You know how you go into McDonald's or the little Burger King and shit? They be like, no shirt, no shoes, no service. Well, no profile pic, no posts, no service. Cause I don't know who the fuck you is. Like you could be the Fed. Like I don't know who the fuck you are. Like you know who I am. I got pictures of my shit. You know what I'm saying? You know who I am. Like y'all niggas come out of nowhere on my post, and it's like I don't know who you is. Cause like I don't know who's behind the profile that you're contacting me with. You know what I'm saying? And then another bulletin point. If I block you, before I block you, I need you to list out all your pages that you got, your extra pages, because it's awkward feeling that when I block you and then you message me, you know, giving me your your disappointment and you're scolding me for blocking you from a page that I didn't block yet. So I'm gonna need all the pages, all 5 or 6 of them. Bring them here so I can know, so that I can block those too. When I block you, I'm blocking all your accounts. All right. So make sure you have that on deck. But today's topic, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my car again, out in front of the river here at the park. We're going to talk about a very key topic when we discuss alchemy. You probably heard me talk about this before in previous videos, but I want a video that's dedicated to this key topic in itself. Metabole. 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 Metabole is the rate or principle. Well, let's just start with just the principle of change. Things change. If they metaphysical or physical, they change. You observe change. When I move my neck like this, and when I move my head down like this, and when I put my fingers up like that, I changed. What did I change though? I changed position. You know what I'm saying? There was a shift in my bodily position. There was change. Even if I were to sit perfectly still, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, be mindfulness, you know what I'm saying? Mindfulness, you know what I'm saying? There could be mindlessness, but when you get into the whole Hindu gurus, they talk about mindfulness, you know what I'm saying? So if I was just sitting here still, just like this hill, just like this, there would still be motion in my fucking body. My blood would still be pumping. My neurons would be firing, you know what I'm saying? There would be cellular metabolism, keyword, going out through the course of my body. There would be microbes doing what they do inside of my temple. So there is never a time where you're looking at anything that is not moving. May I repeat that? Sure, I'm going to do it. There is never a time where you are not in a stasis or not stasis. You're not in a state of non-movement. This is the law of vibration. This is why one of the posts that I put on my page is we need to bring people back to the 7 universal laws or the 7 hermetic laws, because it's really right there. Wherever you go, that's foundation right there, my nigga. This is 7 universal laws. Some new age shit that looks new age on the surface, but it's actually the foundation for anything you can speak on. For example, if we're saying the law of mentalism or law of mind, everything is mind. So there's never a time you're not in the mind. There's never a time where mind is not active in your experience. Whatever you are doing, whatever you think you're doing, whatever physical object you think you're picking up or dealing with, you're still dealing with mind, right? And then we get into this whole thing of vibration where everything rests, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing that doesn't move. They try to do absolute zero with this science shit and still can't fucking achieve absolute zero. They don't have the power to make things super still. So everything is always moving. So when I'm talking about metabolism, or metabole to be more precise, we're talking about change, the rate of change, and how we deal with the rate of change to become something other than what we are now. So for example, we're gonna take this shit back to the whole star larvae hypothesis. And you can also look at the Judy K. King shit. I'm seeing a lot of people, they not really vibing with the shit, or they think it's limited in scope or whatever. And I'm gonna respectfully say you have to look at this shit from a metabole perspective. That whole balls of fire, the ISIS thesis probably not, but the balls of fire book, the Judy K. King book, I look at that text as a alchemical text. That is the underlying theme of the whole entire book. It is alchemical in its scope. Even when you get towards the end of the book, it talks about alchemy. It shows you that you in your human state does not merely mean what you look like physically. It's also features about yourself that are indicative of every other fucking human around you, and changing that into something else. That is the basis of my art. That is the basis of your art. That is my science. That is your science. I watch these motherfuckers out here act like that this is their shit for centuries, and now I'm exposing them. This shit is chess. It ain't checkers. You know what I'm saying? I do Denzel impressions when I get upset. You know what I mean? To put emphasis on what I'm saying. No, I'm just fucking with you. But change. So going back to the whole star larvae hypothesis, this is a whole video series, or 3 video series that I did, or a video series of 3 videos that I did on my channel. Check it out. I'm talking about how you as the human state changes state into something else. There's many different names for it. Some niggas call it super baby. You're a super species. You're a Haru species. You're the meteor people. There's different names you can call it. Christ, Phoenix. There's different magister, master. These are words that you're using to describe this change from your human state as it is now, because I know you're in that human state, into the next one, to the next stage of your development. Okay? So going back to the whole caterpillar butterfly thing that I talk about in the star larvae hypothesis videos. You can have a whole fucking community of caterpillars, right? Some caterpillars can be magical, or more magical, more spiritual, more in tune with the spirits, and more, what can I say, more dark than other niggas, more light working but it's still a caterpillar. It's still a fucking caterpillar that never went through the metabole, or the rate of change, or the change, the evolution, the alchemical change into the butterfly. So what you have here and around in this whole conscious community, this occult community, new age community, is a bunch of fucking caterpillars acting like they have gone through or are dealing with true change. And they're not. Who the fuck do you think you're fooling? I have to be practical. I have to be utilitarian. I have to be this way so that I can sort through bullshit. One way, if you are in a sea of information, you're in a sea of just all types of data that you can go search on your internet, on Google, or hear niggas talk about in their posts or in their YouTube videos. How do you separate the real shit from the nonsense? from the bullshit. How do you do it? What I do is say, how useful is your information, first of all? And secondly, is it useful towards where I want to go through with a change? Now, your information may be useful if I want to get more money, or if I want to get more women, or if I want to, you know what I'm saying, decorate my magical practice, or my spiritual, or make myself look more spiritual on my social. Maybe I'll deal with your information for those things. But when I'm talking about alchemy as a practicing alchemist, my whole thing is I don't care about any information outside of that practice, or making sure that I can utilize it. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that I cannot utilize to accelerate my metabole or my metabolism, I don't care about it that much. It's trivia to me. It's trivia. Now, hey, maybe your aim in this shit is not to change. You want to stay in a caterpillar type state. We'll do that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. All I'm saying is you're dealing with a motherfucker that deals with evolution. Because what do I mean by metabole? Going back to that word. Now, there's a book that I had already mentioned that you can pick up, is The Jewish Alchemists. You want to read that book, and this is where the whole Hebrew Israelite niggas got it correct. You are the Hebrew. Yes, you are. You with this type of skin, darker or a little lighter or whatever, you are the motherfucking Hebrew. This is your science. This nigga made a whole, Raphael Patai, he made a whole fucking compendium of all this alchemical knowledge from the earliest Greek, coming out of the whole Kemet thing, the earliest Greek. We already know where the word chemia or alchemia or all that shit comes from. We know this is going back to your Kush and your Egypt and all that. And then going into the whole Black Greek thing, not the shit that you see in college right now. Going into Etruscan, all that shit, and all the way up until, I'd say, maybe the 20th or 19th century, of where we're dealing with the term alchemy or anything related to alchemy. And through all that, it deals with you going through a change. Now, it's symbolized by all the equipment that you see in a scientist's laboratory or in an alchemist's laboratory. For example, the alembic, you know, these are the flask, the athanor, which is the furnace, the bellows, you know what I'm saying? I think I talked about this shit in the mitochondria video before this one. These things are symbolic of something that is going on within you or going on about you, metaphysically and physically. You are supposed to be going through a evolutionary change, as symbolized by the whole caterpillar, butterfly, cocoon thing. And that's not the only creature that does it. There's other insects and other marine life, all types of creatures that symbolize this shift in metabolics or metabolism. So when I say metabole, you should understand, and I'm trying to make you get this so that you are compelled, like I am, to do the actual work of making this alchemical change. You have an inbuilt mechanism of metabolism, right? You have a metabolism, but even inbuilt into that, you have a function that is supposed to get you to evolve into the next phase of your evolution. So me and those who study what I study, we study how metabolism, your very metabolism of your motherfucking body right now, and in function and in the physical of what you are, your body, is supposed to go through this change. So we look for information that helps us accelerate this change, what more insight we can get into it so that we can develop and evolve on a faster rate. Okay? So metabolism, what is it? Metabolism is the chemical processes, just on a mundane level, it's the chemical processes through which your body runs, or your life here runs. Because we ain't just going to limit ourselves to the body. We're talking about your actual life process here in this density or dimension, or wherever you want to call it, this matrix. Let's just start there first. That's your metabolism. Now, this is beyond getting into how much fat you're burning. That goes into it, but it's beyond that. It goes into cellular respiration. The reason you're breathing right now is for that purpose. It goes into the whole mitochondria thing. It goes into the foods that you're eating, the things that you're consuming. All that plays a part in that process. Now, if your metabolism is the same as a nigga that is not into the same information as you, I have to put you in the category of that person. Because then it would just be in a caterpillar situation where this caterpillar is smarter than this one. This caterpillar is more magical than that caterpillar. But the common theme is that neither of these people have gone through or starting the process of evolutionary change. Now, the marking of that change is where we look at the metabolism. Okay? The metabolism comes from the word metabole, to change, over, to change. You know what I'm saying? It's a changing going on. There's a change. There's a fucking noticeable and marked change of you as what the fuck you are right now, going through and becoming something else. That's what we study as alchemists. That's the core principle of what we deal with. Drink. Marinate the tongue. Do all that shit. Don't be dry out here. Be juicy. Stay juicy. Now, juice can dry up, or juice can splash. Be juicy, my friend. So if you're going to be listening to me and dealing with what I deal with, we deal with the rate of change and how we can accelerate change. So most of my practices deal with how to accelerate change in the metaphysical and physical areas of your entire being. So if I'm talking about metabolism, I'm not just talking about your cells. I'm not just talking about your flesh or your body or your meat stick or the thing that you are operating here in this low density matrix, if that's what you want to call it. We're going beyond that, because the metabolism is a function to which everything in the matter or the flesh of your body follows behind. It's an algorithm, which is another alchemical thing that, you know what I'm saying? You hear about algorithms all the time. You're on social media all fucking day. You're dealing with algorithms. The reason why you don't see certain people on your timeline like how you used to is because they put in an algorithm in that Instagram or YouTube or whatever, or Facebook, where they only keep trying to show you posts that deal with what you're dealing with. So if you're into, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, if you're into, political injustice, then they're going to keep trying to send you posts through your shit to your timeline based on an algorithm that deals with that. You see what I'm saying? Or like me, you can be like me. I get shadow banned all the fucking time. You know what shadow banning is where they keep your profile from being seen or found from other people. Like it's like blocking you, but in a very surreptitious and sneaky way. Like if I have hashtags under my posts and someone clicks on a hashtag from somewhere else, they won't find my post with the same hashtag. It's shit like that. It's an algorithm, because maybe there's keywords in my posts that throw up a flag in that Instagram or Facebook system. So when that happens, there's an algorithm that basically goes like this: if this happens on this nigga's page, keep him from being seen. That's an algorithm. That's metaphysical. That's beyond the physical. It's an instruction. It's a abstract of a function. It's abstractual. It's not a real thing, but it's where, well, I ain't gonna say real thing. It's not a physical thing, but it's something that physical things conform to. Do you see what I'm saying? So with your metabolism is a function, your metabole in you is a function that your flesh conforms to. It is how you are kept alive, or that you're still living here in this this thing that's keeping you in existence here in this shit that we call the matrix or the hologram or whatever you want to call it. Now, here is where there's a distinctions come about. Your rate of change or your metabolism is so fucking slow that it keeps you in a human state. So let's bring up my motherfucking post that I put up the other day. Or was it yesterday? So is this post right chum? This post right chum. That post right there. So this post deals with ketones or ketosis, ketogenesis. So you may have heard, like I said, I don't know how much of my videos you've been watching for any of you out there, but I've been dealing with this whole thing of ketosis, ketogenesis, and ketogenic diet. So when people hear keto, they automatically hear the diet thing. This whole craze or trend about people eating high fat, low carb type of things in their, daily diet, right? So one of the reason that you're doing this type of thing is because you are trying to achieve a state of ketosis where you're producing ketones in your body. So ketones are these molecules or these let's just call them molecules. These molecules that are produced when fat is being burned in your body. And they're an energy source. And what people know about is that when you go through a starvation period, fasting, you start to go into a state of ketosis. Now that ketosis is what is revving up your metabolism. It's changing the rate of your metabolism. Because the chemical equation or the chemical rate of which your body is operating can be sped up. It can be revved up. And that revving up means what? More heat, more power, more charge, more energy, whatever you want to call it. More chi, more prana, more whatever. And because of you having that greater production of energy, that makes you that much more powerful than anybody the fuck else around you who isn't revving up their metabolism. That's your firepower right there. And that's the firepower that's going to get you into the state of evolution to change into the next fucking thing in your development. This shit is not physical in its scope. It is metaphysical in its scope. It is an algorithm built into your fucking being. We are tapping into it when we do our work, when we do the practice of alchemy. So, for example, you can have two different people doing the same ritual or same spell or same magical practice. The motherfucker who has the higher fucking metabolism will have the better and firepower or the faster rate of their shit happening over the motherfucker who has the slower metabolism. You don't have the firepower. Where's your firepower? You have a human level high firepower. So whatever the fuck you're doing or whatever the fuck you think is the hot shit that you're doing is not really that hot. Literally, it's not. It's low temperature activity. So how powerful do you think that shit is going to be when you put it in application? It's not going to be that fucking strong. I know this. You don't have to be super fucking logical to understand this. It's the difference between burning one fucking briquette of charcoal versus a whole fucking pit of charcoal. Which one is going to be hotter? Which one is going to fucking burn the meat faster if you were cooking meat on it? So this is why, recent videos on my YouTube, this is why I've been talking about this shit. This is why I've been talking about it recently. About this whole thing of metabolic rate and metabolic changing. Because I wanted to let people know that there is a more occult thing that you haven't touched on yet. See, even those niggas right now in the occult, That's something that's more occult than what they're dealing with, because they didn't know about this shit. They wasn't thinking about their metabolism. They relegated it, or delegated or relegated it to just something being in the physical realm, when it's the function transcends physical shit. So again, if you're not into fucking evolution, if you're not into trying to get out of your caterpillar state to become the butterfly part of you, or you're just not into power, then this shit isn't for you. This isn't your lane. And I don't need to deal with this shit on a right or wrong basis. Like, it's either your fucking metabolism is hot or it isn't. There's no fucking argument there. There's no debate there. There's no how can I say this? There's no what I'm trying to say. It's simple. That's what I'm trying to say. It's simple shit. It's not that complex. Now, let me give you a perfect example of where you can find metabolism and Metabole. Perfect example. Now, I talked about this on my live, but I wanted to make sure I make like an official YouTube video about it as well. So if you've seen this shit on the live where I was talking about fried chicken proof, fried chicken proof, then this is just going to be a repeat. But for those of you that haven't seen that video, then this will probably be your first time hearing shit like this. Have you ever cooked fried chicken, my nigga? My niggas know you cooked fried chicken before. Or you lived in a house of somebody who did. Right? Or you ate someone's fried chicken before. Every time you're burning something, every time you're cooking something, every time you're applying heat to anything, you are changing its metabolism. You are engaging in metabolic process. Let me repeat it. Every time you light something on fire, heat it up, you know what I'm saying? Heat it up, cook it. You're dealing with metabolics, you're dealing with metabolism. So when you're preparing your chicken, right? We're just going to deal with chicken. For you vegan niggas, let's deal with cauliflower. I ain't going to keep switching, but just replace cauliflower with chicken since y'all don't eat chicken. Okay. That raw piece of fucking chicken, drumstick, flat, or whatever, thigh, whatever, the whole fucking chicken or whatever, it's raw. It's a raw fucking material. You know what I'm saying? You got it from the supermarket, or you chopped up the chicken in your backyard if you on a farm or whatever. It's just raw fucking meat, right? That raw meat has a chemical composition. A certain, you know what I'm saying, composition of chemicals and compounds that make it up. Then you add flour, then you add salt, then you add pepper, then you add, some niggas use egg in their recipe. You know, you use whatever to get the flavor or whatever the shit that you're trying to get for your chicken. Just say that universally people use flour to do this. After dipping it in all those ingredients, this raw piece of chicken, you then put the motherfucking piece of chicken into a pot or pan of oil. Traditionally. I know they got the fucking air fryer and shit. I haven't tasted air fried chicken yet. It still kind of relates to this process, but traditionally, you've been using fucking hot oil. It's oil that you're heating it up on the motherfucking stove and you're putting the chicken in there. What's happening to where this raw piece of flour covered chicken with all the seasonings or egg or whatever, and then it gets to become this golden brown piece of fucking meat with a crust or crispy golden crust, you know what I'm saying, just golden brown chicken. What happened between those 2 points? The chemical composition of that chicken changed. It converted. It went through a metabolic process of whatever the chemicals was in that one chicken, that raw piece, and then it changed into this edible meat that you can now chew on it and have some mac and cheese and collard greens and beans, greens, potatoes, you know what I'm saying? Black people food. So what happened? You put the meat in oil under high heat and it changed its chemical composition. That is a fucking algorithm. That is a function. That same function is in the very core of your fucking being. There's a philosophy behind it. There's a theory of it. And then there's a practice to it. Let me reset that motherfucker again. I like the way it sounded. I love the way that sounded. I adore the way that sounded. There's a philosophy behind that. There's a theory to it. And there's a practice to be done on it. Or because of it. That's alchemy. This is at the basis of every fucking alchemical thing you can deal with. You want to deal with the medieval shit. You want to deal with the Arabic shit. You want to deal with the Egyptian shit. You want to deal with the Jewish shit. That's the basis of the fucking thing they're doing. Conversion of one state to another. Permanently. You go through Negrito, Albedo, Centrino, Rubido. A reddening of this thing. Whatever you're trying to alchemize or change or convert. Because in alchemy it's called reddening, where it's the rubido stage. So each stage is correlated to a color. So Negrito is the black stage. Albedo is the white stage. Citrino is the yellow stage. Rubido is the red stage. Ruby, red, rubido is all in the same motherfucking bracket. The process of the alchemist was to go into a deep heat state to cook him or herself to become the new step of their fucking evolution. That's metaboly. That is metabolism. The metaphysics of it. Metaboly is happening all around you, my nigga. The very weather cycle that you are on, where you go outside. Is the sun out? Is the clouds out? Is it raining? Is it thundering and lightning? Is there a blizzard? Is there a firestorm? Is it a tsunami, a hurricane? This shit is all based on change. Heat. Even the weather conforms to metaboly. Your body conforms to metaboly. The fact that you go from one philosophy to another. You don't like the Christian philosophy. You don't like the Islamic philosophy. You get into the chaos magic philosophy. You get into the more science philosophy. You get into the comedic shit. You get into the heat. Every time you went into another change in your motherfucking philosophy, that was a metaboly. There was a change going on. Now, how much of a change that was, it probably wasn't that significant, because a lot of you niggas just change views. You don't change your practice. So though you was doing the Christian thing, Hebrew Israelite, chaos magic thing, you was doing all these different fucking things, but you was still kind of doing the same shit. Or shall I say, let me not go there. You didn't change your fucking metabolic rate. You didn't evolve into anything other than the human that you was when you was a Christian or a Muslim, or if you was into Judaism. There was no metabolic or evolutionary change between those philosophies that you picked up. And you know this. You know that that's true. You know that that's what fucking happened. That was the course of that. Did you learn more things? Of course you did. Did you get smart? Yes, you did. I know you did. Did your wisdom and your perspective change on things? Yes. And that's what we're talking about. Metabolism. But from an alchemical perspective, we are talking about changing you from the very core of your being into another fucking thing, or to another state. So let me repeat myself from other videos. The way you breathe, the way your fucking metabolism works, the way your spirit body, the temperature of your spirit body, this is all indicative of your fucking degree. So you want to get into degree work? You want to talk about college degrees? You want to talk about 360 degrees? Niggas is not changing their degrees. They are on the same fucking degree, but in a new fucking suit. The suit being whatever fucking ideology or religion or spiritual practice that you're into. Because I don't even have to say that my practice is spiritual, nigga. It's dealing with direct change. It's dealing with direct evolution. So every level of my being changes. It's not just my physical. It's my metaphysical, my astral, my emotional, my mental. All that changes in tandem with each other when we deal with alchemy. Because the thing that's called Kim, that's always changing. This is what you niggas, when you say chaos, that's what you're dealing with. Constant change. There is no motherfucking, everything moves. Vibration. Swinging. Things are oscillating. Everything's moving. And there's a difference between, and I said this before, there's a difference between you being in the water versus you causing the fucking ripples and tides and tidal waves. There's a difference. Nigga, y'all in the water while me and mine's out here causing fucking tidal waves. We causing all types of disastrous ripples. See, you speaking knowledge and I'm speaking knowledge, but they know the difference. You know what I mean? And the difference is your practice. This is why practice is important. Because if there's a practice behind what you're doing, I want to know, where does it get you? From philosophy to theory to practice. Where does your philosophy, then the theory that you put with it, where does it get you in your actual living existence? That's how I'm going to sit here and rate your philosophy, your ideology, your religion, your spiritual system. Where did it get you? So if you niggas was dealing with chakras for umpteen years, or you just got into it, where did it get you from the time you started to now? Be honest with your fucking self. Be honest. Because this is what I'm going to look at as an alchemist. I'm seeing, where you doing your practice, where did it fucking lead you? And was there really a real in-depth change from the time you started into the time you are now? This is how we're sorting through knowledge and information out here. We're looking at, how does it translate to practice? What's the utility of what you're telling me? Just to know it? Just to have seen it? What else? Is that it? Is that the motherfucking, the end of the road there? Like how niggas say that they was, high priests and pharaohs and Kemet and all that bullshit, but it's like, that's it, my nigga? Do better. Do better. You was in a position of status in that society. That does not mean that you was a change from anything of beyond the fucking human scope. I don't mean shit. Because I ain't gonna sit here and deny that you was. I don't have to deny that you was. I don't give a fuck if you were. You could have been the high priest, the executioner, the court jester. You know what I'm saying? You could have been that motherfucker. I probably was that motherfucker. As funny as I'll be on my shit, my Instagram page or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would like to think that I was moving towards becoming an actual fucking star, or black hole, that I like to call it, with a W. We're not saying black hole anymore with just HOLE. We're saying WHOLE. Black hole. And I want to give you an equation before we go any further. A equals 1 over infinity. A equals 1 over infinity. Meaning that A, all things, equals the one thing over every other thing below it. Over everything you can divide it or compartmentalize or piece it into. Be the one above all infinite change. That's what we do as alchemists in our trajectory to supremacy. We seek to be above change, meaning that if it is chaos, we're the ones making the fucking waves in it. Not merely wading in the water, nigga. I'm troubling the waters. You know what I'm saying? When they say God's going to trouble they talking about me. They should be talking about you. God's going to trouble. Hold on, I'm going to sing it from the beginning. Wade in the water. Wave in the water, children. Wade in the water. Alex gonna trouble the waters. Come on, man. Man, listen. It's a Negro spiritual, but that don't mean the principle in the Negro spiritual is Negro spiritualistic. Just like when we talking about Jesus take the wheel. Just because we're talking about Jesus take the wheel does not mean that concept or that algorithm is native to Christianity. It's in Christianity, but not of it. For example, you can break that down to say, if I'm saying Jesus take the wheel, that's you taking the fucking zodiac and controlling its fucking route for your life, just in your own life, taking control of the zodiac wheel as if you're fucking Captain Ahab on that ship. You can call me Skipper. You know what I'm saying, big fella, shorty. You can call me Skipper. I got the wheel. I got the helm. That's symbolic. It's physical in the fact that it's a helm, like the whole steering wheel of a ship, but the whole thing of you taking that fucking wheel and controlling the way where the ship goes, that's symbolic. That's metaphysical. That's an algorithm. That is a function that transcends the physical fucking world. It's that the physical appearance that you're seeing conforms to the function. I think they out here boating. I'm gonna go boating, nigga. I need to find a shorty that want to go boating. You know what I mean? We out here paddling and having romance out that bitch. But anyway, going back to metabolism. And this is something that you learn getting, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have the link, all the shit in the description section of this video that you can go for further reading and further viewing or whatever. But going back to metabolism or metabolic, we're studying that. Because aren't you getting tired of being human? And not just in saying that, okay, I'm beyond humanity because I said so. No, nigga. There's a whole change. There's a whole practice that goes with that. There's a whole fucking structure that goes with that. There's a discipline that goes with that. How the fuck you want to say it and not practice it correctly? To yield the type of result that says, undeniably, nigga, I am that thing that is not human anymore. It's going back to the whole 33 degrees of the spine, nigga. The spine is physical, but the function that it serves is not. This is why these Masons have this shit in their fucking, you know, their whole structure. That's why it's there. We're talking about heat, nigga. There's shit you will not know because you're not hot enough to reach it. You don't know what the fuck 2 or 3 degrees actually is because you're not hot enough to reach it yet. Your rate of metabolism hasn't reached that point yet. So there's a whole fucking experiential set that comes with that fucking degree. That's why I can look at a Mason and be like, nigga, some of y'all don't know what that actually means. Because you at the same fucking temperature as every other fucking human. So what degree are we talking about? And then knowing the fact that your fucking existence here, or you just even your body, conforms so that you can withstand that level of fire. So it's not just getting that level of heat. It's your fucking chemical composition being able to sustain that fire. Because there's certain shit that if I burn it, it'll just shrivel up and turn into ashes. But if I burn this other thing, it can withstand that fucking fire, and that flame can last for days. You know what I mean? Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where this shit does not make any fucking sense. Going back to the whole fucking chicken thing. The reason you're cooking anything is an alchemical fucking application. It's where it comes from. There's cooking going on right now in your fucking body. Without that cooking, you would not be existent right now. You would not be living without that cooking going on. We did a whole fucking 3-hour video about mitochondria. Those are the cooks in your body. They're the cookers. They're the chefs in you right now. Everything you eat, consume, breathe in, they're using all those fucking materials to convert into the energy to keep you alive. So when I'm cooking chicken or cauliflower, I'm metabolizing it. I'm changing it from one thing to another. I'm converting the very thing that it is into something else. The blood is being cooked in the chicken. It can get disgusting for vegans. The blood is being cooked. Any bacteria that could be, truly harmful to you is being killed. This is the reason why you get a fucking fever when you get sick. Your body heats up in this, this involuntary mechanism of your body heating up to kill off that which cannot survive these higher levels of heat. So why you have a fucking fever when you're sick. If you did not have that fever, that fucking microorganism can cause more damage than if you were heating up. See, it's in an environment where it can survive. Now, if you turn the fucking heat up in that bitch, you'll start to fucking fry it, cook it, and turn it to ashes. Your body has this inbuilt into it. Hell, you don't even have to consciously participate in the fever. But the mastery of this is being able to induce the fever consciously, intentionally. Now we heating up. It's going to be a fucking scorcher this summer, my nigga, my love. It's going to be a scorcher. We handing out ass whoopings. Come get them while they hot. Because I told you, the more disciplined niggas get to beat the asses of the less disciplined niggas. This how this shit goes. This how this shit goes, nigga. I get to fucking beat your ass. And who gonna stop me? You ain't disciplined enough to fucking stop me. You know what I'm saying? Get your discipline up. Get your heat up. Eat ginger, nigga. Learn how to maintain the CO2 levels in your body. I just gave out 2 fucking secrets. Now, it's not to say that niggas wasn't already eating ginger and not already doing breath work. But what I'm telling you is that if you are doing it, you're on the right path. I will say that. Now, do you have all the pieces? I don't know that for sure. But these are pieces we're putting together for this whole thing. So when I say black hole, what I'm also saying is that you are trying to be holistic in its truest sense. So go out on a search, if you would. Seek those pieces that put together for you to become the next stage of your fucking evolution. Don't you get tired of being human. Just because you learned a new magic trick does not mean your fucking metabolism changed. Just because you learned from one of these woke niggas that you're a god or goddess did not mean that your metabolism changed. Just because you picked up the Necronomicon, you picked up the Goetia, you picked up Aleister Crowley, whatever y'all... Just because you picked that up does not mean your metabolism changed as you picked it up. Your metabolism was the same from when you picked that bitch up to now. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm not. Tell me I'm lying. This is why I can talk shit, my nigga. I'm doing it. It's part of my daily practice. I don't get to be undisciplined with you niggas. I can't. I cannot. That's not my life right now. And I don't want it to ever be like that ever again. So let me get into this post, man. I was trying to make this shit under an hour, but I know it's going to be longer. It always is. I get riled up and heated because it's going to be a scorcher this motherfucking year. If you a beautiful, lovely lady right there, I just would love for you to send me a picture of you with Daisy Dukes. Send it to my phone. I got enough data. You send all the pictures. I got enough data on my phone. Send me the ones with the Daisy Dukes, like when they ride up your booty. Show them. Send them to me. I will appreciate them. I will hold them for it. I will fucking cherish them. Oh, shit. Hold on, let me pull up this post. Hot and bothered. Hell, this is why sex itself is part of this whole thing. You know what I mean? There's nothing cold about sex. Name one cold thing about sex other than the fact that motherfuckers be fucking without emotional attachment. That's the coldest thing about sex. Everything else is about heat. The friction of fucking, there's friction in that. The blood rushing to the genitals and the clit and the dick. The blood is fire in the body. The whole thing of iron and rusting and oxidation. When you're burning something, you're oxidating it for the most part. When you set on fire something, a piece of paper, whatever, you're oxidizing it. So this is what I'm about to talk about here in this this post that I put up. This post right here. Go look. I'm gonna try to put the link in the description. This talks, we going back to keto. I got way off topic. Ketogenesis. So what's the point of the ketogenesis? The point of ketogenesis is simply you're getting a better product to burn. You're getting a better product to metabolize rather than you sitting here eating carbohydrates and breathing in fucked up air all the time. Your body has an inbuilt mechanism where you produce certain liquid or a certain substance that when it's burned or when it's going throughout your body, it gives you a hell of a lot more energy, a hell of a lot more heat, a hell of a lot more charge than would if you was to consume and do something else. This is why if you're fasting like how I am, you're heating up when you fast. Your body is burning all that fat that is stored that when you're eating and doing everything else. Because most of the time people are storing that fat, they're not burning it. So exercise comes and see, exercise is part of my fucking practice. There's certain types of exercises we do. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to burn that fat and not even burning the fat. We're trying to turn the fat from white fat to brown fat. It burns better. It burns brighter. It burns hotter. The cooks in your bodily kitchen love it when they can burn brown fat rather than white. Or when they can burn fats and oils that you're consuming in your diet rather than fucking carbohydrates and proteins all the time. See, now you're seeing how my diet fits into my practice. My spiritual practice, if that's what you want to call it. My spiritual discipline. It's all vertically aligned, or you know what I'm saying, it's all in alignment. There's nothing outside of what I do that's beyond my practice. So I'm not sitting here practicing fucking dark side magic and not doing the fucking diet and the exercise to go with that, or the applications and practices that go along with that. That's what separates me, the butterfly, from you, the fucking caterpillar. You don't even have firepower behind your fucking rituals and spells. You have enough to get by. But getting back into the whole ketogenesis, ketosis thing. So what we're finding out, if you read the caption, is that your liver is the organ in your body that is responsible for the conversion of fatty acids or oils in your body into ketone. Always look at ketones as the greater and better source of energy or source of power in you. So your liver is the place of that. And more specifically, your liver mitochondria. More specifically, your liver mitochondrial proteins. More specifically, your liver mitochondrial protein charge or power. Or intelligence is doing that. So do you see the point of switching to keto, of high fat? Is it starting to make sense? And like how the liver is the fattiest organ in your body? Other than all the fat in your body, the liver, like as far as your organs, like a gallbladder, heart, lungs, or whatever, the liver is the fattiest thing in that group. So I don't know if you niggas ever ate, if you're fancy and highfalutin like me, I don't know if you ever ate foie gras. Foie gras, which is goose liver. So it's a delicacy. So what they do is some, inhumane shit. They, it's a lot of fucking PETA activists that are against this shit. But they've been doing this shit for fucking centuries, millennia probably. Where they take the geese or the goose and they force feed it to fatten up its liver. Right? And when the liver is fat enough, they kill the goose and they cut out the liver and they prepare the liver and they serve it to the highfalutin crowd, like the luxury, niggas that eat fine dining and fine whining, you know what I'm saying? My first time eating it was my birthday, around my birthday this year. So that was like a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? I had some foie gras. So it's the fat content of that organ is damn near 90%. So it's damn near 90% fat in this liver, this goose liver. And people eat it like it's cheese. Like they slice it, they put it on pears, they put it on crackers, and they eat it like it's like a butter. It's real soft, it's fat. Now, getting back into the symbolism of the liver, because we're not just dealing with the organ, what is its function in the body? So if you go, there's a few websites that I reference here on this post. And like I said, I'll put it in the description. Like I'll have all that in the description section of this video. Back then, like back in Greek mythology times, ancient times or whatever, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt and all that shit, the liver was supposed to be the seat of the soul. It wasn't the heart. It was the liver. The liver is not only the fattiest organ in your thorax or body, it's also the largest. So the liver is supposed to be larger than your heart, your lungs, gallbladder, spleen, and test. It's the largest thing sitting right here. Right here. Notice they told you to breathe at your fucking diaphragm. Guess what's right there in your rib cage, right there. Your fucking liver. So your liver was originally regarded as the seat of the soul, whose indestructibility was connected to the regenerative capacity of the liver. So they said that your soul and your liver were synonymous with each other. They were correlated with each other. And I just fucking I'm showing you in this post how your liver mitochondria is the oil converter. It's taking that fatty acid and oils in your body and turning it into ketone. So now we're seeing the significance of the liver in your body. And the liver was always associated with fire. Things are starting to heat up. Let me take a drink. Damn, nigga, things are heating up. So that was the fire in you. Also because of the fact that it was gorged with blood. Because people think the heart is the bloodiest organ. No, nigga, it's your liver. The liver is supposed to be the responsible thing of cleaning out your fucking, your blood. You know what I'm saying? Filtering your blood or whatever. So there's multiple functions to this liver thing. So the liver has its name because the fire that flies up into the brain has its seat. So this whole connection between oil and heat is right here in your body. How the fuck do you cook fucking or fry chicken or fry any fish or fry things or cook things? You're usually cooking things in oil. Now you can cook it in water. There's other things you could cook it in. But for the most part, oil is always something essential to cooking. Whether it be olive oil, you're using pork fat, or niggas is upgrading to coconut oil, avocado oil, red palm oil. All these different oils are always associated with cooking. Why? What does this go back to? Canola vegetable oil, that's which most niggas use to fry chicken and fry whatever else. Fries, you know what I'm saying? Potatoes and shit. You're using oil at a heated and boiling capacity. That's metabolism. That's what you're supposed to be doing in your fucking body. So according to Galen, which was, I guess, this scholar from, I guess, hold on, what scholar was that? This is shit you can read in this article. The article deals with the ancient view of the liver. You know what I'm saying? Because the liver kind of took a backseat to the heart. The heart was always considered, and then the brain itself. But these are all physical things. The principle behind, or the function, or the algorithm behind, or the spirit behind these things are what we're focusing on. So for those of you that want to be stuck on, if I'm talking about something physical, I'm really talking about the algorithm behind it. It conforms to an algorithm that is of a metaphysical nature. So according to this dude, the liver was a warm and moist organ that several scholars thought it was the seat of a fire that burned perpetually in the human body. The warmness of the liver was seen as the origin of the human spirit that flew up to the brain through the heart. So the heart does play I guess a position in this, or it plays a part in this shit. And then there's another source here from TorahApologetics.com, just looking at shit from a Hebrew perspective, like looking at your anatomy from a Hebrew perspective. And he says here that of all the internal organs in the human body, the liver is especially known for its regenerative ability. What is alchemy? What are we doing? We're regenerating you. Regeneration. You are being generated again. Born again, regenerated once more. You are changing into a new thing. You're being reborn. Sankofa, study birth, study embryogenesis. Sankofa, going back to get the embryogenesis, the birth. You're being reborn through the alchemical process. How many niggas is doing that? You are not reborn simply by picking up a fucking grimoire. That is not rebirth. Talking about the clip off is not rebirth. Pontificating on metaphysics, or trying to pontificate on things of a chaos nature, or whatever the fuck y'all niggas is doing, is not regeneration, is not rebirth. Tell me where it is, other than a change of your philosophy. You are not being regenerated by the process. So what the liver is here is almost if the liver is saying to you, oh, let me keep reading. Of all the organs, the liver is the one, in humans, capable of naturally regenerating massive amounts of tissue. As little as 25% can regenerate into a whole liver. Do you see the symbolism of the liver? Note, this regeneration is a function, not form. So hold on. This regeneration is in function, not in form. See what I said earlier? We're not simply talking about the fleshy thing, even though it goes into our alchemy. The principle, the function, the algorithm of it is the focus. Though the entire liver will not grow back, its function can build back up to 100%. So even though if I destroyed the liver 75%, it can grow back 75%, but it can operate at 100% of its capacity. It's showing you I see magic right now. That your liver can do shit like that. That it can regenerate itself. That's symbolic of what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. Regenerating. Generating again. Reborn. Rebirth. Thus, for someone who has 25% of their liver, it can regenerate its function and end up working as well as a normal sized liver. Comparing the two, we see that the glory of man can be regenerated as well, just as the glory of, Yahweh will return to his temple. So that's symbolic. So the word in Hebrew for liver is the same word for glory in Hebrew, or heavy in Hebrew. Why? What are we talking about? Just as your liver can be regenerated and your glory can be restored, your true self, black hole, can come back to its former glory. Meaning you are reborn as a black hole. Meaning you are reborn as a star. Star larvae hypothesis. Some dumb niggas came out of nowhere on my motherfucking page, as they always do, talking about, oh, we just put up anything on our YouTube. Get your dumb ass get the fuck out of here. Nigga, I'm showing you metabolics. I'm showing you how to evolve into the next thing. And if you don't want to take my fucking word for it, I have sources that show you what the fuck is going on. So I have on the post here, fat equals fatty acid equals oil. Oxidation equals burning. Because this whole post about ketones and whatever, it talks about oxidation of your oils in the body. So again, why the fuck are we focused on ketogenic diet? I'm thinking it's starting to make sense. We're trying to activate our ketogenic process. This is an alchemical fucking process. This is what these scientists, or not scientists, alchemists were doing over the course of their fucking years or centuries of studying the art. Now, there was some alchemists that never got that far. They only knew the process outside of themselves. For example, they knew how to convert silver to silver oxide. They knew how to convert, carbon monoxide to maybe sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. They knew how to do that shit, but they never did the fucking conversion within their spirit, within themselves. They never did that. So a lot of your chemicals that you use for your cleaning products and you use industrially to do this or do that, it came from these alchemists. They discovered this. This shit came out of their experiments with this shit. The thing is, they never alchemized themselves. They never did the shit within. That's what you would call the speculative alchemy, where you're making a spiritual change. See, your metabolism ties into that, and heat ties into that, because if your metabolism is low and fucked up, which is the reason why a lot of you niggas have diseases of all sorts, you know what I'm saying, then you're not going to evolve. And it is my strong conviction is that when you die, you go back to the same metabolic level you left off on. Until you rev that bitch up and get to a level where you don't have to do this human shit anymore. This is metabolics, not fucking mere occultism. I'm dealing with the true occult. You niggas didn't even know about this shit. You knew about the whole fucking Goetia. You knew about deity creation. You knew about all this other shit except for you going through a metabolic change. That was what was left off the table. That was what wasn't put on the table yet. Until I came along and whoever else is talking about it brought it along. Because it's time to evolve. Humans doing magic is getting fucking rather old. It's getting old. It's getting trite. Nigga, I could use all types of words. It's getting, what's the other word for it? Banal or banal, or, you know, what's that word where shit is just trite, like it's boring? It's getting old. You probably, if you was from Egypt, ancient Egypt, you probably was doing this same dumb shit where your metabolism was not going anywhere, but your philosophy was. You know what I'm saying? Your philosophy was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But your metabolism wasn't. Your metabolism was in its same degree. So we out here doing degree work. We're trying to increase our degrees. We're doing practical applications to increase our degrees. This is the metabolic principle, the metabole. This was the whole reason behind me putting the whole recent video that I did on mitochondria. The mitochondria conform to a function. The function is beyond the physical fucking world. Birth, life, death. This is the process of the fucking mitochondria. They only conform to the principle. They are nothing out without that principle that they conform to. This is why I say if you want to get metaphysically, you want to be metaphysically speaking, there's nothing native to the physical or the physical density. There's nothing native to it. It is acted on by other more subtle forces. Nothing physical causes nothing other physical thing. Or let me say that again. Nothing physical causes any other physical thing. It is all under control of a higher or more subtler plane of existence. Meditate on that. If I punched you in your fucking jaw, it's not, and it breaks, it's not simply, it is not, how does shit, one does not simply punch someone in the jaw. It's the fact that there were forces that collided. Then the fist and the jaw came in to fucking symbolize those clashing of forces. Do you see that what I'm doing here? Every form that every object takes in the physical is not native to the physical. It comes from a lesser dense plane of existence. There's nothing native in the physical. It's a realm of effects. It's a shadow realm. So something in a lesser dense realm casts a shadow here. And on and on and on. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if you wanted to go into this whole thing of video games, like you're in a big ass video game. So Grand Theft Auto is a shadow of the physical realm. The physical realm is a shadow of the realm before it. The realm before that is a shadow of and it goes on back. This is the Gnosticism shit. This is the fucking emanations. You are in one emanation. The video game that you play, the sandbox video game, like Roblox or Fortnite or San Andreas, you know what I'm saying, Grand Theft Auto, these are emanations. Because then you can get lost in that fucking world and forget about this world that you're in now. And that's the fucking fall of man. You forgot your sovereignty or your position as the black hole. The black hole is the black body radiator. You're the thing or the no thing or the thing that isn't that radiates everything else. That's your true identity. So these are emanations of your black wholeness. So everything in the electromagnetic spectrum is a radiation of you. And we get there through fucking metabole. We get there through a metabolic evolution. We get there through the practice of alchemy. Hot nigga. Grimy Shooter's just a G-star or something like that. I'm not in the gang or whatever. I'm just saying I feel it though. I ain't in it, but I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Hot nigga. This is why we're trying to get out of a state of being frozen. This is the whole Masonic shit. This is what they talking about. You're frozen in humanity. So in order to get unfrozen, what do? How do you unfreeze something? You heat the motherfucker up. So I'm not going to merely be frozen in philosophy. I'm going to be heated through practice. Not frozen in philosophy. I'd rather be heated through practice. Put it on a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Not frozen in fucking philosophy. Heated through practice. So is there anything else I need to say here before we wrap this up? Well, let me just repeat this and then we'll wrap it up. You have an inbuilt evolutionary mechanism in you. See, if you go to the whole Judy K. King book or whatever, her whole book is about that. Now, the accuracy and the veracity of what that is, we can debate about that. We can sit here and pick her shit apart and see what she got right or what they got right, because the niggas saying that she didn't write the book. We can see where it's right and we can see where it went left or you know what I'm saying, in the wrong direction, and we can put it right back on course. That book isn't the end all be all. And I'm my bad if I put that out there that it was. It's not. She doesn't have all the answers. I don't even think she mentions mitochondria in that whole book. Or the metabolic principle. She deals with alchemy and the conversion of things. Because if you're going to the microscopic realm or doing a quantum state reduction or whatever, these things you're doing is for the process of conversion, alchemy, change, to become the God thing, the Christ. What do you think a Christ is? The Christ is the motherfucker with the chrism. What is the chrism? An oil. What the fuck are you supposed to be dealing with in your own body and heating up? The Christ is the nigga in the deep heat. Jewish Alchemist by Raphael Patai. He talks about it in that, or it brings that alchemical information. Deep heat, reddening, rubedo stage. This is where the phoenix is important. The phoenix is a quintessential symbol of alchemy. You even see the phoenix double-headed in fucking masonry with the 33rd degree. Nigga, what the fuck? Tell me where I'm getting this shit wrong. They talking about the 3 spine or spinal pieces of the spinal column, the whole column of the spine, 33 degrees, right? You reach the fucking 33rd degree, your emblem or your symbol is the double-headed fucking phoenix. Some niggas say eagle is actually a phoenix. They got that shit from the fucking alchemy. It said masonry comes out of alchemy. Just like a lot of other sciences, genetics, astrology, all that shit. The law of mint, all that is alchemy. So what is that telling you? You get to the 33rd degree and there's a firebird, a red firebird, rubedo stage of alchemy. What does the phoenix represent? Oh my fucking. What does the phoenix do? It is reborn from its own fucking ashes. What does the liver do? It regenerates, rebirth, reborn. The alchemical process is rebirth. Who's doing the rebirth? You're doing this magic here, you're doing this occult stuff, but you're not being reborn. What's going on? What's going on, my nigger? So again, you're going to be stuck on that metabolic degree until you fucking rise up out of it. So guess what? Reincarnation, you're going to keep coming right back to that fucking degree until you heat up beyond it. Heat as far as physical and heat as far as metaphysical. So until you get beyond that 1 degree, bitch, you're going to keep coming back to that degree. No matter how smart you get, no matter how much you dabble into the arts, no matter how many fucking spells you do to get money. No matter what position you rise in a fucking society, because y'all niggas sitting here calling yourselves ancient pharaohs and high priestesses and shit. Get the fuck out of here. I'd rather be the star in the sky. I don't need to play a position in this shit. Hell, that's what the fucking dead king was doing. That's being shown in the Balls of Fire. Hence the book Balls of Fire. That's what the fuck you supposed to turn into. Is not the sun and the stars a ball of fire? A ball of the hottest fuck, or the most intense metaphysical changing going on, the most intense metabolic going on, the most intense metabolism is in these stars? You're not reddening. So let me end this here. I'm thinking of everything I can say before I end this shit, but like I said, man, I'm over here sweating and shit. I'm heating up, you know what I'm saying? You see me heating up, you know what I'm saying? It's a hot day, you know what I'm saying? Don't help that I got this black ass jacket and this black ass beanie. But when you know the science of my work, you'll understand why it's being worn. So my name again is AlexWill64. Catch me at AlexWill64 on Instagram, Ether Realist on Instagram. It's going to be a scorcher, this motherfucker. It's going to be scorcher. I want to see ass, thighs, not dude thighs, women thighs, you know what I'm saying? Women's thighs, women's back of their leg, ooh, that flesh in the back of the knee, the ankle, oh, even if you ain't got no ankles, baby, just the thigh, the cleavage, Imagine the level of control you gotta have where you got women coming outside damn near naked with their booty out and their coochie print dripping. Come on, son, you gotta have control over the weather. The weather got her out of them Ugg boots and the motherfucking jeans and them motherfucking leggings and that motherfucking coat. Soon as the shit went to 60 degrees, she came out here looking like she just came out of a fucking BET Uncut video. So, ma'am, Miss Ma'am, can you send me those pics?